9.8% up to an 11.4% raise for Social Security beneficiaries, including retirement, disability, SSDI, survivors, SSI, and VA beneficiaries. I have all the details and what you need to know right here in the video, so let's get right into it. All right, the information continues to change and update, and in this case, it's actually in a good way for all the tens of millions of beneficiaries I just mentioned a few seconds ago. So in this video, I want to discuss all the details, what these percentages mean, and how it could translate into a very significant raise to your monthly benefits. So let's get into it and discuss all the details. However, really fast before we do, thank you so much for joining me. If you want to stay updated with everything going on right now in regards to money, benefits, new bills, raises to benefits, reform, as well as checks, programs, and anything else going on out there right now, please make sure to subscribe by hitting that button right down below the video. I'm doing all the research each and every day and breaking it all down into these short videos so you can stay updated every single day with what is actually going on right now during this very busy time, and as it's going to impact the low income and of course the fixed income beneficiaries I mentioned at the beginning of this video. So again, thanks so much for joining me. Please make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet so you don't miss any videos going forward, and I'll continue to be here for you right by your side, as that's my commitment, and of course I'm sticking to it. All right, thanks again. Let's jump into it and discuss all the details behind these massive percentages and what it means for your monthly benefit going forward. All right, so here's what it comes down to. Recently, we got that new inflation report out of the BLS, Bureau of Labor Statistics. They came out and showed that in the last month, as in the month of June, inflation was up 9.1% year over year. This is absolutely incredible. This is the highest number that we've seen since the early 80s, as you probably know because we've talked about it in great detail in previous videos. However, as a result of that, and as a result of inflation continuing at the trajectory that it currently is right now, we've got some new information out of the Senior Citizens League, and I want to point these numbers out to you because we're talking about some serious money here now. Now, these are some big numbers. In fact, these are some of the biggest numbers that we've seen in over 40 years when it comes down to your monthly benefit and how much you could be getting as a raise to your monthly benefit. So we're talking about some serious money here. Let me put it into perspective. About 2 years ago, well, what I should say is a year ago, in 2021, we were talking a little bit over 1%. So we're talking 1% last year, and now we're talking 9.5 or 9.8, possibly even up to nearly 11.5%. So we're talking major differences here, right? I mean, we're talking about a 10% difference from last year, 2021, until this year, right now, in 2022. So let's talk through the details about this. So as a result of that most recent inflation data that was released, coming in, like I said, 9.1%, we're now looking at some new information out of the Senior Citizens League. And again, the Senior Citizens League is a big, powerful advocacy group that also does a lot of advocating for fixed income beneficiaries, for seniors, older adults, people with disabilities, and of course, the low income living on fixed income benefits that are administered by the Social Security Administration. And yes, this also does include SSI. SSI is administered by the Social Security Administration. Anyway, the Senior Citizens League is a great group, and they also come out a lot of times with their estimates, looking at everything right now and giving their best predictions on what they anticipate going forward. Well, here's what they're anticipating with the newest inflation data. They're anticipating a 10.5% cost of living adjustment, otherwise known as COLA raise, based on the current inflation data. However, they also did give a range based on the trajectory of inflation right now. If it continues at the same rate that it is right now, they're projecting on the high end, we could be seeing an 11.4% increase to benefits. Let me put that into perspective for you really quickly. Back in 1981 was the last time that we got anywhere close to 11.4%. In fact, in 1981, it was 11.2%. So we could possibly be getting the highest raise that we've seen in over 41 years, right? Since 1981. Now, there is a 14% COLA that's out there prior to that. I don't think we're going to get there on this reading, but we may actually be over that 11.2% that was sent out in 1981. So a long time ago, right? So in this case, if the inflation that we're currently dealing with right now continues on the same trajectory, we could possibly be looking at an 11.4% raise. However, they were also mentioning that in the event that inflation actually does subside a little bit going forward, that we may actually be getting a raise of about 9.8%. Now again, that's just shy of 10%. So even in a worst case scenario, we could still potentially be looking at a roughly 9.8% raise, which would be massive. Let me put that into perspective again really quickly here. Remember this year, 2022, how much did we get? Well, at this point, it's looking pretty sad, but we got 5.9%. So a 9.8% increase to monthly benefits as a result of the COLA would virtually be about 4% more than what we're getting right now this year. Obviously, it's a little bit less than that, but it's actually 3.9%, but call it 4% more now going forward than what we're actually getting this year. That's significant. When was the last time that we saw even just a 4% COLA? Honestly, I don't know the year, but it's been a very long time. I do know that much, right? So I'd have to look it up going back all the years and see when actually it was that we actually got anywhere near a 4% COLA, but it's probably been a very long time. I know that for sure, right? So it's very interesting to see this all play out. And again, it's all going to hinge on these three very important months, July, August, and September, which are the 3 months that we need to watch very closely because this is where they get the inflation data from, and that determines how much we're actually going to be getting as a result of the annual cost of living adjustment that will be applied starting in January. So when those new benefits come out for the month of January, when they're distributed in January, that is where the new raise will be reflected. But in some previous videos here recently, and some more videos going forward, of course, I can break these numbers down for you in more detail because I think all of us want to know, what would a 9.8% raise actually look like? What would an 11.4% raise look like? It's going to look like a lot, I can tell you that much. It's going to be a pretty significant raise for most people. So it's actually pretty exciting, and these are the numbers out of the Senior Citizens League. Now again, full disclaimer, anything could change over these 3 months that we need to watch very closely. Again, July, August, and September. The very last inflation data reading that we'll need in order to lock in the COLA raise will be distributed and will be announced in mid-October. So it's not going to be written in stone until mid-October when the Social Security Administration comes out and announces that final reading. But, or what I should say is when they come out based on the final reading that's distributed that same day, what they come out with on that day as far as the COLA. Anyway, it's going to be big. We know that for sure. Yes, it could drop down a little bit lower than that, but the fact of the matter is it's looking pretty strong right now. It's looking very, very strong. So anyway, I'll keep you posted on that, which, by the way, quick side note, the CPIW, which is the Consumer Price Index for urban wage earners and clerical workers, that is where the annual cost of living adjustment is calculated from. Even though this last inflation report said 9.1%, guess what? The CPIW was 9.8%. So that just shows you right there, 0.7% more just from the CPIW. So that's a good thing because that's where the annual cost of living adjustment is pegged off of. Anyway, hope this video helps you out, but of course, as I do get more details, of course, I'll be right here for you, breaking it all down, letting you know what it all means and how it's going to impact you and your monthly benefit, as well as your money, your freedom, your finances, your bank account, your Direct Express card, your livelihood, and everything else going forward. So again, thanks so much for joining me. Please make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet. Share the video with your friends, family, social media, and as always, go back and check out some of the other thousands of videos right here on the channel. Until next time, enjoy your day. Have a good one. Thanks so much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I'll catch you again later in the next video. I'll see